Hey, what's going on, guys? Jeff Koga here, and I am going to start my timer. Actually, there it is. Week 6, and I just finished up going through my social media account and went through answering a bunch of questions and stuff like that. But I want to tell you a kind of a funny story and a very, very scary story, actually. This being a election year on 2012, and it being the second quarter. I'll tell you a funny and scary story in a little bit, and also something where by me saying, hey, I have an event coming up that I'm thinking of possibly doing, has kind of ruffled some feathers on some folks, and why a concept that I believe has allowed me to be able to grow my business to where it's at, and also at the same time that can benefit you who's watching this. And that concept is called suspending disbelief, or AKA putting down your bullshit radar, as I call it. But check this out, okay? Is earlier this week, right? I was going to McDonald's out of all places, super healthy for y'all, right? And I was in the drive-thru by myself, and I was actually ordering some chicken nuggets, right? And I actually ordered a dozen chicken nuggets. So on the intercom, they said, what would you like? And I say, a dozen chicken nuggets, please. And then the lady goes, sorry, sir, we don't have dozen chicken nuggets. We only have chicken nuggets in 6, 10, and 20. Right? So I'm like, okay, can I have just a dozen pieces then? And then she goes, sir, maybe you're not understanding me, but we only have chicken nuggets in 6, 10, and 20. And by the second time she says this, my strange, chaotic brain of mine says, oh, you know what, let's poke at this a little bit. And my girlfriend hates me on this because sometimes I do these random, strange stuff, and some of the folks who really know me know I pull this kind of shit off. And so I say, you know what, I need to talk to your manager about this. And so she goes, well, go right on ahead and pull up. So I pull up, and the manager comes up and says, sir, what is the problem, right? And I said, well, I'm trying to order a dozen chicken nuggets, and she's telling me that I can't get dozen chicken nuggets. And then she says, well, that's absolutely correct. And by this time, I'm like, what? And she said, yeah, our pieces only comes in 6, 10, and 20. Now, remind you that this is the manager, okay? Okay, it's McDonald's, okay? And don't ask me why I was ordering chicken nuggets, okay? Because I've seen that YouTube fucking video with how chicken nuggets are made with the processed food, and it's being bleached and it's all pink and stuff like that. Okay, disgusting ass shit, but I had the munchies, okay? So I was ordering chicken nuggets, and by this time, so I said, you know what? Let me just have 2 packs of 6. Right? So for whatever freaking reason, both of them did not put the two together that, dozen means 12 and 6 plus 6 equals 12, which is a dozen. I didn't use some clever thing like, can I have a baker's dozen, right? Or something of chicken nuggets. Then I'll be like, okay, fine, you can't take one and make it 13 or whatever it is, okay? But the point of the matter is this, is that, one, it's an election year, and can you believe these are the folks that are going to freaking vote at the polls on who your freaking leader for this country is going to be, right? So that kind of shit just mind boggled me. And I was just like, no wonder our country isn't where it's at. But it kind of ties into some of the questions and emails and stuff that I was going through earlier today, because I guess, sometimes I'm very naive. Why? Because I'm 26 about certain things, so I'm very naive. But also at the same time, I'm obnoxiously confident in some of the stuff that I do. And also at the same time, my girlfriend always tells me I need to be humble enough to actually understand and just, tone it down a little bit. So, but the thing about it is this, is that, as they say, common sense isn't, really too common in this world, right? And, I'll say it again, common sense really isn't too common. And I think that gets even more expanded, when you're actually trying to run a business, right? And it kind of goes into message, and because I get a lot of folks, because I'm always trying to figure out, how I can impact the lives of, like folks like you that are watching this. And this one particular person said that they spent over $30,000 on guru products, and says, yeah, all you gurus are scam artists here, and I bought in every single course, and I still haven't done a deal yet. Jeff, I'm here in LA, but what do you do, and what is it different that you're going to make me successful? and a question mark, ... And I was going to answer that, and I was going to be as snobbish and, be real, because that kind of ticked me off. So I was going to answer saying, like, dude, why do you think the other people are talking shit about these other gurus? Maybe the problem is you, right? And because in all reality, if you spend 30 G's on info product and you still haven't fucking done a deal, or you're telling me you didn't learn anything from other stuff, that's not the person who creates the product's fault. I think that's your problem. It's the kind of same people who actually get a degree in this, economy, right? They say, hey, I graduated, I got my high school diploma. Oh, I got my AA. Oh, I got my, a bachelor's, right? Or I got my MBA, I got my PhD, and you go into the working force and you can't find a freaking job, and they say, oh, the economy's bad. Right? Really? Really the economy's bad? There's folks that are making still bajillion dollars in this economy. Maybe the problem ain't the economy and how you're trying to blame other people, but maybe the fact that maybe you're not going out there and doing shit to actually make shit happen in this economy to be a productive individual in society, right? So in business, that's what I've realized, that it's not common, and especially, with this event that I'm coming up, I'm realizing that even more. And it's a very, very interesting thing, because I just posted a blog about a conversation that was going on in this particular mastermind group that I'm part of, because I'm part of a lot of mastermind groups where I try to network with folks. And it's very, very interesting. If you haven't, go to jeffkoga.com and take a look on that. And in there, it comes with a question that was asked on this mastermind beginning of the year, right? And it's a very specific question. And then from that question, it starts expanding. And one thing is very interesting is that in this mastermind, there's a lot of folks who have done millions and millions of dollars in real estate deals. But also at the same time, there's folks that have sold millions and millions of dollars in info product or guru product, help you make real estate. Ooh, no cash, no credit, and make a bajillion dollars and work only 5 hours a week, right? And stuff like that. So, and it's interesting because one individual responds back and he says the market is shifting, and he makes a statement about Homer Simpson, right? Who is Homer Simpson? Don't. Right? The Simpson, Homer Simpson, that Homer Simpson. And he talks about it, and it's very interesting because it's not the first time I've heard that, and it's probably not going to be the last time, but you have to understand that a lot of times, right, these guru folks are making things in a way where they're pitching things and saying, oh yeah, it's so easy, this and this and that. Why? Because they're writing to Homer Simpson. Right? Homer Simpson. Maybe that Homer Simpson was that same person that was freaking working at McDonald's, right? And that couldn't figure out when I say 12 pieces of chicken nuggets, I'm asking for actually 2 packs of 6, right? Or that manager who couldn't understand my question also, right? That, in my opinion, may have been Homer Simpson. I'm not trying to insult you if you work at McDonald's and stuff like that. Why? Because, I've done certain jobs. I used to actually do a janitorial cleaning job, and I used to clean fucking toilet seats when I was in high school and stuff like that. So I've done some stuff that, just to make money. But the point of the matter is that these courses are created in a way to go ahead and make it seem very easy. Why is that? Why? Because, one is you have to change the way you actually think and how you analyze stuff to be successful in a business. Because a lot of time business, I believe, owners fail. Why? Because they don't recognize things that are very common in business, right? Common business knowledge, right? And that I struggled with that myself. I'll be the first one to admit it, okay? Until I started realizing and, looking and actually studying business models and stuff like that. And I'll use one example is, for example, I remember one guy, cool realtor guy, and he was talking about on Facebook that, hey, he started opting out of all these so-called, guru guys and inbox and stuff like that. And my response was to that, why opt out of it? Just freaking opt into it and just recategorize in your email or create a separate email and just keep track of it. Why? Because these folks are sending bajillion emails. Why? For a reason. Because it's making them money, right? And if it's making them money, wouldn't those subject lines or how they write the email and how they actually entreat you to open the email is a way that maybe you can use and model it in your business, like if you're a realtor, and how you can have your clients that are looking to sell the property open that email, or maybe if you're working with buyers, how you can convince them to open that email to get in front, right? That kind of stuff, right? So, but it's just a different shift that you have to have in your brain to actually do. And it's very, very interesting because especially with that, is that common sense really isn't common. And a lot of times this investing world, it's not really the next big strategy that actually works, right? That no cash, no credit stuff and, make bajillion dollars. No, that's not it. You actually have to learn how to run a business. And that's where you have a difference between the folks, mom and pop investors who are doing 1 to 2 deals and stuff like that, and then the folks that are doing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 deals. And that makes a world of a difference. And what you need to understand is and I'll end it with this because I'm at the 10-minute mark, and you might be thinking, this 26-year-old punk is just talking shit and talking crap. But, what excites me is that I'm 26, but what excites me when I sit down and when I think of stuff and when I write down goals, and which I'm doing this, this quarter, because I'm changing some of the stuff, from the first quarter to the second quarter. And when I look at what I've accomplished and what I haven't, the only thing that really matters is you as the individual. What have you done, right? Regardless of what your business has done and so forth, right? It still boils down to what you as the individual have completed and what your own goals and what you want to accomplish is on paper, right? Because if it's never on paper, it's never going to get done. And you really have to question yourself and sometimes ask the toughest question, because sometimes, right, you might not be cut out for this, okay? You might actually just be cut out to be a B, C player, okay? Meaning that you're not an A player. And there's really nothing wrong with it, This is how the world goes around, right? Is some folks are A players, some folks are alpha players, and some folks are the second tier and third tier people. And nothing's wrong with that. But other than the fact that, when I watch things from like Tony Robbins, Oprah, when I watch other, motivational guys like Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, and they talk about if you just bust your ass and, work hard, then you're going to become a bajillionaire, which is total bullshit in my opinion. Why? Because you can have a dumb fuck with talent but doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and then you can have him running around left and right, but he ain't never going to win a championship, right? Kind of like you see that in sports all the time, right? Where you see a sports who's just insanely gifted what they do, right? Especially in basketball or even in football, but then for whatever reason it's not clicking up here, and because of that they are not a freaking Hall of Fame player, or they're not winning championship. And it boils down to a statement that I learned from my coaches when I was little playing sports, is that there is a difference, an inherent difference between playing not to lose versus playing to win. Okay, I'll say it again. There is a difference between playing not to lose versus playing to win. And in business, you lose, you're going to be bankrupt. You lose, you're going to be out on the streets. You lose, your family is going to question you and says, okay, why'd you do that? Your friends are going to say, I told you so. And everyone else in between is going to say, man, I told you that thing is not going to work. Man, I told you real estate investing is tough. Man, I told you, this market sucks. Man, I told you this economy sucks. Man, I told you, it was that president's fault. Man, I told you, it's all hype. It's all bullshit. Man, I told you this and this and that. And you're going to get that. Versus if you're playing to win, it doesn't even matter what the hell everyone else is playing, because you believe it in so much that you're just going to do it and you're going to execute it, but just be smart about it. And you just have to be around folks that actually can answer your toughest questions, that can go ahead and take you and push you to the next level. And that's the difference between winning and playing to win versus not playing to lose. So if you're watching this, on this Sunday, go out there and play to win. Okay, don't play to lose. And check out that blog post I think it's for you analytical guys. There's a lot of graphs and charts, so I think you're going to like that. And leave me a comment, and I will go and see you next Tuesday. And if you haven't seen Flippin' East TV, subscribe. I'll see you then. Jeff Koga, I'm signing out.